So you were commissioned into 7 Bengal mountain battery of 22 mountain regiment in June 1962, sir.
Correct.
Sir, you fought 3 defensive battle against Chinese in 1962, sir, to include Battle of Bumla and Tongpengla, sir, Battle of Tawang, and Battle of Bombdilla.
Correct.
Sir, I will request if you can share your experience of these battles with us, sir.
Okay. I'll start with the Battle of Tongpengla and Bumla.
Sir.
There was one company of 1st Sikh holding the pass at Tongpengla with a company minus, and one platoon just short of the Ivy Ridge and which is on the pass.
Sir.
Now the Bumla pass was held by one platoon of Assam.
Right, sir.
Now we had information on the previous night from our regimental headquarters that the enemy attack is likely to come on night 22nd, 23rd October.
Sir.
Therefore, the OP officer, Captain G.S. Gosal, who was deployed at that point of time at a place with the first Sikh platoon to do a registration of targets on night 22nd, 23rd October. The battle for the pass started on 23rd October at about 5 o'clock, between 4 and 5 o'clock, and they had launched attacks on the Assam rifle platoon. Then they came on to Knights of Subadar Joginder Singh's platoon.
Right, sir.
There.
Was from 1st Sikh, sir.
This is, yes, that is from 1st Sikh. This is on morning of 23rd October.
Sir.
Subadar Joginder Singh, with artillery support from my battery, 7 Bengal, beat back at least 3 attacks,
Sir.
in which the entire platoon, less Subadar Joginder Singh, who was injured, and about 5 odd other ranks were killed.
Sir.
Now at about 7 o'clock thereafter, the advancing enemy contacted the defences of Tongpengla. By the time this company had been reinforced with 1 platoon from the main defences.
Sir.
Now we started firing on the enemy as directed by the OP officer from around 5 in the morning, non-stop till about 11 a.m. on 23rd.
Sir.
Now, Captain Gosal engaged numerous targets, and we had no dearth of ammunition because we had been deployed there since late September.
Sir.
And we had dumped plenty of ammunition. So we continued firing. Then at about 11 o'clock, the company which was a screen position, was asked to withdraw to the main defences at Milk Tongla.
Sir.
Now, instead of withdrawing the battery at that point of time, by a battery commander, Major Brig Singh, who was a veteran of the Burma War, did not withdraw, and he kept engaging the targets which had been engaged by the OP.
Sir.
With applying sweep and search procedure of the artillery, and at 4 p.m. when dusk was falling, we got orders to withdraw. So we took everything and started withdrawing. Now the problem of the withdrawal was that a lot of our mules had gone to support 2 Rajat mountain battery,
Sir.
which had been inducted without their mules.
Sir.
So with about 50 to 60 mules, we withdrew to Tawang. And all of us, including the officers, that is Gosal and myself, we were carrying our own radio sets. Everything else was left behind and burnt.
Sir.
Now, as we passed through Tawang, there was an eerie silence of the graveyard. There was no sound except dogs barking. Then we came on to our battery position, which was near the helipad, gave the mules a rest, burnt everything which could be torched, and after about 45 minutes, we again started withdrawing towards Jung. In the meantime, the Chinese had bypassed Tongpengla, which they could not attack successfully. They advanced on the Gashila Ridge with the aim of cutting us off at Jung. So now the race was between the enemy and us. And we made it, we were the last units to withdraw from Tawang. During the day of 23rd, the garrison had been evacuated. The Tawang garrison, including the civilians, had been evacuated because we had delayed the enemy from 4 a.m. till 4 p.m. on the advance to Tawang. Now, we were the last troops to cross the bridge at Jung, and after that, the bridge was blown. Now that ends the battle of Tongpengla, Bumla, and Tawang.
Sir, what was the RT support available for these battles? That is, as you mentioned, Battle of Bumla and Tongpengla, sir.
That's a good question. Basically, it was 7 Bengal mountain battery.
So,
We had 4 3.7-inch howitzers, mule pack. There was one troop of the mortars, I think a 116 mortar battery,
sir.
which was deployed just short of Tongpengla. That means we had basically 8 guns.
Right, sir.
And one field battery from 6 field was deployed, from 5 field was deployed as far as the road could go beyond Tawang. Now they were out of range for the battle of Tongpengla and Bumla, but they were in range for the battle of Milik-Tongla. The battle at Milik-Tongla never took place. So basically, we had 8 guns to support this company, infantry company, at the screen position, and plus the infantry mortars.
Right. Sir, you were GPO with 7 Bengal mountain batteries, sir. That time you, as you mentioned, you had 3.7-inch howitzer guns, sir.
Correct.
I believe that that is having a limited range. There are various problems that you people must have faced that time, sir, to include communication, liaising with the infantry and all, sir. So could you please throw some light on what all problems you faced that time in 1962 was?
I'll take it in two, I'll answer it in 2 parts.
Sir.
First part is the range. Now, we were deployed, the gun position was deployed above 14,000 feet. Now, when you deploy at that altitude, you get an additional 1,000 odd yards of the range. The route travels further due to thinner atmosphere.
Sir.
Now, secondly, we had a lot of supercharge.
Sir.
With charge super, you add another 1,500 to 2,000 yards in the maximum range.
Sir.
So with a combination of both, we could get adequate range, having been deployed short of Tongpengla to cover all the targets at Bumla and beyond.
Sir.
As far as the mortars were concerned, they were deployed just short of Tongpengla and they barely made it to Bumla.
Sir.
So that was the aspect of the range of the guns. Now next point is liaison with the infantry.
Sir.
You see, 1st Sikh and 7 Bengal mountain battery we were in direct support of 1st Sikh. They had been in Tawang for 2 years.
Sir.
So there was very, very close liaison, both at the officer level, JSU's level, and other ranks.
Sir.
The liaison was so good that whenever the Sikh troops, first Sikh troops passed to us, they had to have tea with us, and vice versa.
Sir.
When we were deployed at Milik-Tongla, we had to dine in the first Sikh mess. So the liaison was extremely good.
Sir.
And as far as communication is concerned, we had no problem because we had a fire order line and the radio communications were on radio set 62,
Sir.
which is an HF radio, and absolutely clear communication both with the OP, with the infantry and the regimental headquarters, which was at Tawang.
Sir. Sir, you mentioned in your write-up, sir, I would say article, sir, that 7 Mountain Battery was the only battery in Indian Army to bring back its gun during operation in NEFA 1962, sir. So please tell us something about that incident, sir.
I'll just clarify this point. We were the only artillery unit in Fort Div.
Sir.
I do not know what happened in Valong, etc.
Right.
So in Fort Div, we were the only unit to bring back our guns. And the reason was very simple.
Sir.
We were packed. Guns were carried on one gun on 9 mules, plus all the administrative elements, the command and control elements were all mule pack. So we were the only ones who could move along the road or off the road across mountain tracks, which we did. As far as the other artillery was concerned, whether they were mortars or they were the field artillery, they were restricted to the road.
Sir.
Now the problem on the road was that once one vehicle stops, everything, nobody else can use the road. Now unfortunately, in those days, the road from Tawang to Sela was a kacha track, and this was just after the monsoon. The road, it was a rutted road, where passing vehicles had made ruts in the road, and once you put your vehicle in the rut, you need not steer it. It went automatically. But if that track was blocked, it was a one-way track, everything was stuck. That is the reason.
Sir.
That we were mule packed, and we could move cross-country, we could move off the road, on the road, etc.
Right. Sir, in 1962 war, how were the living conditions in Tawang, sir? We heard you lived in shelters made of gunny sack clothes, sir, nailed to bamboo frames, and roof was made of tarpaulin, sir. So please throw some light on this, sir.
You're absolutely right. You see, there were no barracks in those days, in those areas. So the entire accommodation of everyone was in bashas. There was plenty of bamboo, so the engineers had made bashas for everyone, right from the headquarters downwards, the brigade headquarters downwards. Were bashas for officers, for men, and in our case for the mules also, the animals. Basically we had mules because horses were of no use in that cross-country movement. So those were the living conditions at Tawang. But when we moved for deployment, to start with, we were in tents, 180 pounder, 120 pounder. The men were also in tents. As you know, each gun is authorized one tent.
Sir.
Later on, as the winter started creeping in, we built up stone walls. We lined the stone walls with rhododendron bushes,
Sir.
and covered them with tarpaulins, which were supported by gullies which we had to cut from the forest down below. You see, we were well above the tree line.
Sir.
The tree line finished near Pyongyang So, which was about 3,000 feet below.
Right.
So anyone who needed wood, whether it was the infantry or us, we had to go down, cut timber and then haul it up. So that was at Tawang and this place, Milik Tongla, Tongpengla, etc.
Sir. Sir, on 17 November 1962, sir, during Battle of Tawang, there was an incident, sir, when CO of 22 Mountain Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Bhupinder Singh, sir, ordered your battery, that is 7 Bengal Mountain Battery, to withdraw to Bombdilla. But you as a GPO explained to him that there is lot of ammunition which is lying with you, and with the help of that ammunition you could neutralize the enemy, sir. After that he changed his decision, sir. Please tell something about that incident, sir.
You see, the scene was like this, that during the night, 16th, 17th November, first Sikh had, 5 guards had advanced from kilometer 9 on the road Bombdilla to the ground via the bridge and village Rohang onto Thandra. Now, my battery commander had moved with the CO. There was no OP officer.
Sir.
So the OP officer from the field regiment deployed at Bombdilla was told to join him. Now he passed through the gun position around 10 a.m. next morning.
Sir.
So initially the artillery fire started around, I would say, 9 o'clock. So that was directed by the battery commander.
Sir.
By the time the OP reached, he also took a few shoots. And then the OPN, that is the BC and the OP, cut communications. There were no communications. 5 guards were supported by us and by a troop of 6 field from kilometer 9, which was the roadhead. So the support of the 4 guns of the troop and our battery, we were taking shoots. Now the CO, when they also went out of communication with the 5 guards, those 5 guards had withdrew at that point of time, having been beaten back by the enemy. So there is no communication. We had plenty of ammunition. So I learned the lesson of engaging targets from a battery commander, which we had executed at Tawang. So I told him it's a broad daylight, there's no problem. We could see the entire ridge coming down from the village of Thandai. I said, if I see the enemy, I'll withdraw. Otherwise, leave it to me.
Yes.
I can take the decision, or if you want, I can withdraw now. So he said, okay, I'll leave the decision to you. So we kept engaging the previously engaged targets, plus left and right, iron drop, and also where we saw success signals of the Chinese on when they captured certain peaks, we fired there also. So we kept firing till about, I would say, 4 p.m. when our gun position was engaged by machine gun fire, MMG fire, from the other side of the river.
Sir.
Now we were well within range and we were lucky, very lucky, as the bullets passed just about 6 inches, 1 foot above us. A few of our animals got injured on the way up, but that was the reason why I requested him and he agreed.
Sir, please tell us something about any incident related to Platoon Commander Subedar Joginder Singh of 1st Sikh, who was awarded Paramveer Chakra posthumous in 1962 war, sir. I heard his platoon has beaten back 3 Chinese attacks, sir.
You are absolutely correct. See, Subedar Joginder Singh was an excellent gentleman. I knew him from the time I was in NDA.
Sir.
Because he was a drill instructor of my squadron in NDA.
Sir.
So when I arrived with 1st Sikh at Tongpegla and I met him, we were meeting like old friends.
Sir.
A thorough gentleman, very brave man. Now, he commanded his platoon with great courage. In fact, during the night, after the Chinese attack had started, just before the attack started, he sent back 3 Jawans to collect ammunition, knowing that he is not going to leave his platoon locality. So he beat back 3 attacks, and as per the narrative given by these 3 Jawans who had come back, they reached their platoon locality with some ammunition. And after delivering the ammunition, they saw that hand-to-hand fighting had started.
Sir.
Because they had already expended the ammunition which was there with the platoon. So between those 3 attacks, Subedar Joginder Singh with grit and determination did not withdraw. Neither did he allow anyone else to withdraw. That was the bravery of this gentleman. And all of them were killed except 3 or 4, and he was captured. Later on, it was learned that he died in captivity because of his wounds,
Sir.
which he suffered there at this battle.
Sir. Sir, do we have any account of number of casualties suffered by Chinese due to accurate Indian artillery fire in 1962 war, sir?
Yeah. I'll give you a brief and what was the number of casualties as I know them,
Sir.
and as told to us by the locals.
Sir.
Now, any enemy casualty is not only due to artillery fire. It is a combination of artillery fire, machine gun fire of the infantry, rifle fire of the infantry,
Sir.
plus mortar fire. So, in the Battle of Tawang, we had about 310 casualties inflicted on the enemy. Now that's one.
Sir.
Before finishing with this, I'll take you to the Battle of Tawang.
Sir.
Their 5 guards, along with the artillery support from my battery and of the troop of field artillery from kilometer 9, it is reliably learned that more than 300 casualties were inflicted, approximately 350.
Sir.
Now, as far as Bombdil is concerned, I do not know, so I'll not comment.
Sir.
Now, I would like to highlight one more aspect, that is 200 Chinese were killed at Sela
Sir.
by Fort Gadwal in general area Nurana, which was a bottleneck. Apart from this, there was an action carried out by CO 4 Rajput,
Sir.
Lieutenant Colonel Avasti, and he had his own troops, not the entire battalion, but a lot of stragglers had joined him on withdrawing from general area Darang towards Bhutan.
Sir.
Now, they were ambushed by the Chinese, and he, at a place, some Gumpa it was a hill,
Sir.
so he collected all these soldiers and attacked.
Sir.
All of them were killed, boys, 200. And it is said by the locals that they saw the enemy carrying more than 200 casualties on their ponies and mules.
Okay, sir.
So if you total all this up, you will have 300, 300, 600, plus 200 at Sela, plus 200 at here. So over 1,000,
Right.
just by 4 infantry divisions.
Sir.
What I would like to say here is that the bravery and courage of the Indian Army soldier has to stand out.
Sir.
They did not budge an inch till they were ordered to. But when they were ordered, it was entirely the fault of the higher command.
Sir.
Whether it was at brigade level, or divisional level, or corps level.
Sir.
It was not the fault of the junior command, that is Lieutenant Colonel and Major.
Sir.
That I can say emphatically.
Sir. Sir, one final question, sir. Sir, I believe it is a dream of every soldier to fight a war in his service, sir. Sir, how lucky you feel yourself to be part of 1962 war and after that 1971 war, sir?
You see, I feel extremely lucky. I'll give you the reason. When we pass out from IMA, all the cadets want to go to field area. Why do they want to go to field area? They want to experience the hard conditions of the army. Peace conditions we all know.
Sir.
Now, that is the spirit of every youngster, every bio. And similarly, I believe that would be with the other ranks. So I feel myself very, very grateful to God and to my luck that I, as a second lieutenant, with less than 1 year's service, had seen 3 battles, took active part, killed enemy, got fired upon, killed again fired upon, and then we inflicted a lot of casualties. Now, if you see at the number of casualties at various places, whether it was Bumla, Tawang, or Duranang, or it was by 5 guards, or it was at Bombdila, or by Rajputs,
Sir.
you will find that the lower echelons of the army were fired up.
Sir.
Whether it was Lieutenant Colonel Avasti or down to soldier level.
Sir.
So I answered your question as to how many number of casualties and the attitude of the younger command. And I can say with a lot of confidence that if we had not been told to withdraw from Sela, there would have been no advance of the Chinese. They had a bloody nose.
Sir.
The way our boys were determined, and we were all determined. And there was no lack of ammunition.
Sir.
Well, there was, as far as my unit is concerned, the mountain battery. And my heart goes out to those officers and men who could not fire even a single bullet. Why? They were asked to withdraw. I don't blame them.
Right. So thank you so much for sharing your experience of war with us, sir. I must say I am really privileged to have such a wonderful interaction with you, sir. Thank you so much.
So kind of you.
Sir, please tell us what are the lessons learned in 1962 war so far as employment of RT is concerned, sir.
A very, very good question. Now, I'll answer it like this. You see, in the initial deployment, when 4 Infantry Division was deployed,
Sir.
it had its full complement of artillery, which means it had 3 field regiments,
Sir.
it had 3 heavy mortar batteries, and it had 2 batteries of mounted artillery. That is 7 Bengal and 2 Desert. Now, as you know, the 62 battle took place in basically 3 phases.
Sir.
First phase was at Dhola, and headquarter 4 Day with 7 infantry brigade with 3 infantry battalions was deployed there. Unfortunately, beyond Tawang, there was no road. So everything had to be carried on mules or man pack. Even the rations used to go man pack. So the only artillery they had for the support of 7 infantry brigade, you can imagine, was 1 battery from 17 parafield and 1 troop of heavy mortars. Now you can imagine that an entire brigade being supported by say 8 to 12 guns and infantry mortars is no artillery support. There were plenty of OPs deployed, but we never expected the enemy to do what it did. It attacked the 2 infantry divisions, the 7 infantry brigade at Dhola. So as far as Dhola is concerned, due to lack of transport, lack of mules or any other constraint, there was you can say artillery support was not worth mentioning. Now, next phase was Battle of Bumla and Tawang. I mentioned earlier that there was 1 battery of mounted artillery, 7 Bengal, 1 troop of heavy mortars, that is 8 guns, and 1 battery in support from field battery from Tawang, roadhead. For Tawang and Bumla, basically it was 8 guns, and for Bilak Tongla, there would have been, you can say, 20 guns, but the Battle of Bilak Tongla never took place. So there is no lesson learned in this phase.
Right.
Now coming to Sela. Sela had a very good complement of artillery. At Sela, you had 3 field batteries, 3 mortar batteries, less you can say 2 troops, which never came back from the phase 1, and infantry mortars. So they had about 80 guns. And the deployment was such that 1 field battery and 2 Derajat mounted battery were at Durana. The rest of the artillery was at Sela and short of Sela. That is 5 field and 6 field, and the mounted artillery. The mortars, I would say 2 batteries minus, were deployed within the Sela bowl, somewhere near the lake. So there was adequate artillery. But I can't say if there was any opportunity when they could have used this artillery in a concentrated form. Though there was plenty of artillery, but the opportunity to use it in a concentrated form never arose. And since the withdrawal took place after only 1 battle at Durana, which was well supported by artillery, there was no other occasion. And unfortunately, the orders came to withdraw from general area Sela to Daram.
Sir.
And all the troops got ambushed. All the guns, all the artillery ammunition got left behind on the road. And everybody suffered many casualties as officers, JCUs and other ranks. My own regiment, between two Derajat and 7 Bengal, we had 3 officers killed.
Yes.
Few JCOs and other ranks whose numbers I offhand I cannot remember. Now coming to Bomdila.
Sir.
In the Battle of Bomdila, there was basically I would say about 12 mortars, remnants of all the 3 batteries,
Sir.
1 battery of field and 1 battery of mounted artillery. So that makes it about 20 odd guns. Here also, the infantry battle took place in such a manner, 5 guards had gone, 1 Sikalai had left their defences for an advance
Yes.
from Bomdila to Daram to link up. So they were not there. This advance, called the task force, was supported by 7 Bengal. So there was no real battle at Bomdila. So
Sir.
though there was artillery, it was split up in petty packets, battery, troop, etc. And there was no concentrated artillery fire. Artillery was available,
Sir.
but could not be used.
Sir.
That is the biggest lesson. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.